Good day, sir. My name is Mandisa Morean, and today I will be presenting the information and sources I have found to support my thesis statement, which states unhealthy eating habits have a negative effect on the physical appearance and health of adolescents and adults. Just an overview of what I'll be talking about today. Firstly, I'll be defining what is unhealthy eating habits. Secondly, I will be discussing why I chose the topic of unhealthy eating habits. Then I'll be summarizing my research paper outline. I will also be talking about the challenges I have encountered while researching my topic. Also, the most relevant sources of information that I found to support my thesis statement. And I'll be concluding with summarizing my points and different aspects and what I have learned while doing my research. Anyone who struggles with food and eating can fall into habits that may lead to what professionals call disorder eating or unhealthy eating. Unhealthy eating habits is the poor eating habits including under or overeating and not having enough of the healthy foods we need each day, or consuming too many types of food and drinks which are low in fiber or high in fat, salt, and or sugar. Why did I choose the topic of unhealthy eating, you may have asked? When I was given this assignment, I thought about something that we struggled with often, something that we talk ourselves into, and after a few days or weeks, we fall right into the bad habits of before. This is when the thoughts of unhealthy eating habits occurred to me. As a young adult from a family with heart and weight issues, I wanted to know if the foods we consume daily and the habits we practice are contributing to my family's health issues. So, I decided to research the impacts of unhealthy eating habits on adolescents and adults' physical appearance and health to educate both the previous and current generation of my family so we can make a change. My first point to support my thesis statement is unhealthy eating habits contribute to the early occurrences of life-threatening diseases. An unhealthy diet causes obesity-associated illnesses such as heart disease and type 2 diabetes, which consequently causes approximately 678,000 deaths annually in the US. If obesity trends were lowered by reducing the average adult body mass index by only 5%, millions of Americans could be spared serious health problems. This point supports my thesis, which states that unhealthy eating habits have a negative effect on the physical appearance and health of adolescents and adults. My third point is continuously practicing unhealthy eating habits can contribute to the risk of adult obesity and obesity-associated diseases. In the Nurses' Health Study and the Health Professionals Follow-up Study, middle-aged women and men who gained 11 to 22 pounds after the age of 20 were up to 3 times more likely to develop heart disease, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and gallstones than those who gain 5 pounds or fewer. However, genes don't have to become destiny, and studies suggest that eating a healthy diet, staying active, and avoiding unhealthy habits can prevent the genetic risk of obesity. This point also supports my thesis, which states that unhealthy eating habits have a negative effect on the physical appearance and health of adolescents and adults. My second point is unhealthy eating habits, along with a lack of physical activity, can lead to childhood obesity. Many children and adolescents in the United States are obese, said C.J. Patrick. According to the National Survey of Children's Health, policies and school program changes make it easier for children and teenagers to eat healthier and be physically active, which can help decrease the chances of obesity. A lack of physical activity and unhealthy eating habits can lead to obesity, which can also lead to threats of disability and mortality. This point supports my thesis, which states that unhealthy eating habits have a negative effect on the physical appearances and health of adolescents and adults. My last point states unhealthy eating habits can lead to physical disabilities among adolescents and adults. Unhealthy eating habits and inactivity affects the quality of life and causes disabilities. Few recognize an unhealthy diet as a leading cause of disability. This point supports my thesis, which states that unhealthy eating habits have a negative effect on the physical appearance and health of adolescents. A few challenges I have encountered while researching my topic were lack of resources to specifically support my thesis statement, resources dealt mostly with disciplinary actions to improve unhealthy eating habits versus educational information on the effects of unhealthy eating habits. Thirdly, when researching for journals and books, I had issue finding suitable sources to support my topic. There were also challenges when choosing resources that may not have been credible with appropriate information. The most relevant sources of information that I used were three websites titled Why Good Nutrition is Important, Healthy Weight, and Savannah Valley District EFNEP, Nutrition Education for Teens and Youth Program. I also a journal article titled Epidemiology of Physical Inactivity, Sedentary Behaviors, and Unhealthy Eating Habits Among Brazilian Adolescents. In conclusion, to restate my thesis statement, unhealthy eating habits have a negative effect on the physical appearance and health of adolescents and adults. To summarize the points discussed in the essay to support my thesis statement, I first discussed that unhealthy eating habits contribute to the early occurrences of life-threatening diseases. Secondly, continuously practicing unhealthy eating habits can add to the risk of adult obesity and obesity-associated diseases. Thirdly, unhealthy eating habits along with the lack of physical activity can lead to childhood obesity. Lastly, unhealthy eating habits can lead to physical disability among adolescents and adults. After conducting extensive research and filtering what is best suited to support my thesis, I am certain that my thesis statement is true based on all the information found to support my claim. From doing this research, I have learned that unhealthy eating habits and lack of physical activity are one of the causes of life-threatening diseases such as heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. Unhealthy eating habits also cause disabilities such as blindness and amputation. I also learned that obesity is prevalent in adolescents and that unhealthy eating habits and lack of exercise will cause these life-threatening diseases to form earlier in adulthood than they should. These are a list of references that I used to conduct my research to support my thesis statement. Thank you for viewing my presentation on the information I have found to support my thesis, which states that unhealthy eating habits has a negative effect on the health and physical appearances of adolescents and adults.